Well, it is all over at the DHL Stadium, formerly known as Greenpoint Stadium in Cape Town. Remember last season we have a Cape Town City having the DHL Stadium as their home ground, and Stellenbosch bedlala in the Winelands. But now Cape Town City is no longer in the PSL, and Stellies have taken an opportunity to use DHL Stadium as their home ground. Today they were facing AmaZulu, Hebe Usuthu Mapeshankone, and Stellies managed to win by 3 goals. Yay, 3 goals to 2. It was a thriller. We saw an amazing goal, and the third goal came with extra time for the Stellies, in which they advanced to the MTN 8. This is my views, my expressions. Please do subscribe, share, we are here and sikuphathele okungaphathwa abaningi. Let me come usiboniso sizo wakwamningathi sibongo, and as usual angihambi ngedwa, ngiphethe the analyst, the coach, the plumber, Mpela. How's it?
Ngigrand ngishile ngathi izodliwe ilokhuzana usuthu lemabheshankona away akhale.
Oh, well, not really, because the game went to extra time. It could have been anything.
If it's anything, it's penalties. If it's still under regulation time, they've been beaten.
The regulation time there was 90 minutes.
120 minutes.
Well, unfortunately for Umangete, Tembazwana, even though they scored first, what? No.
It should be Atazwan.
Yeah, Atazwan, tell me. Unfortunately for Umangete. Okay, what the point is Uzwan. The point is Uzwan. The point is Uzwan. Give a look to Atazwan, Tembazwan, it's fine. Unfortunately for Mangete, and then he get knocked out. Gibone namhlanje no Dladla from Cape Town from Durban City.
No, we spoke about this. You maybe forgot.
No. I didn't realize that he was there. I was surprised. We assisted up Mangete.
You even met them there in Zimbabwe. It's a long thing.
Well, Umfana Mlungu, and
it's been long. Those are the old news.
Umfana Mlungu scored the first goal for AmaZulu, and we were excited. Ithe kulonke bele scream ukuthi kwenzakalani KZN yonke, but Stellies managed to capitalize, and then it was 1-1. And then we saw another goal, and then it's now 2-1. AmaZulu but managed to get a second goal now, and then extra time, and then Pili come in and bury the hatchet.
And then after it was just game over. Okay, so what happened there in that game? Okay, now I understand AmaZulu, the way they approached the game. As I told you, okay, when they started the game, they wanted to put the intensity to be very high because they approached the game with the 5-3-2, so they were playing with them wing backs. So consistently, Hanama was just attacking on the left.
So Hanama, also shocked.
No, Hanama was confused. It means I misread the list. And then he was just attacking more, especially on the left hand side, putting a cut back and then trying to do crosses from time to time. But the problem was that other wing back that was on the right hand side, and then I was even thinking that when going to the half time is the first person that was going to be changed. It's that guy, but the coaches saw otherwise. They didn't change that guy, but other than that, they changed to Ryan Moon because first half AmaZulu since they approached the game with the 5-3-2. So what happened? In fact, they started with because they were playing with the big three. When our wing backs they've pushed, it was the 3-4-1-2 where XTN was playing as number 10, following Abo Raymond, and then in the first 10-15 minutes, it was giving Cape Town City. He still is the problem because this was receiving behind Abo Palace the ball. That's why they were always set pieces next to the box, and then there was always interplay. And then other thing that I didn't like, especially first half, is about the back three, the defense of AmaZulu and the wing back. Right, he couldn't track back, when they've took, he was only focusing on attack, but even on attack on the final third, he was not good because he didn't cross, he didn't have ama box entries, he didn't have the killer passes, he didn't have ama successful dribble. So there was nothing on that side. So he was ineffective. But at the same time, here in the midfield, where there was Uzungu, I think Uzikal, that Rasta guy. So they were just responsible for dictating the tempo of the game and then playing a long ball, especially on the wings, so that they can try and do cutbacks. But the only side was functioning, it was the left side, not the right side. So but Amazulu, they were having a problem because they were attacking more, and then after they've got the goal, a very good goal of interpassing where SDN was just the heartbeat, because all the moves, all the killer passes and the moves, they were starting from him, and then trying to score. And then after that, they came back to the game. They went with their normal transition. They will be trying to find Titus. They were overloading the left hand side where the Diong, maybe Umtara, sometimes Kupito will be moving from left to right, and then they were overloading the left hand side, having so they were able to break a last line. Yamazulu, the last five. Because in the midfield, they were trained in the midfield. They were always getting the killer passes, and then they're breaking the lines from the midfield, and also able to break the last line. Amazulu, they couldn't track the runs that they were making. Third-man runs that Captain City were making. Stellenbosch were making. In fact, in the first half, to be honest, Captain Stellenbosch should have been leading by maybe 3 goals. But it was just that one goal. Then it was 1-1. Then they came back on the second half. When they came on the second half, Amazulu, they changed because what happened when Stellenbosch came back? Now Amazulu, they were just out of possession, as I told you that about the environment there, the wind, the atmosphere there, they weren't able to match, to sustain. So that's why they wanted an early goal. After that, they dropped deep, and then Stellenbosch was just all over them from 25 minutes up to the 45 minutes. Stellenbosch was just all over Lokozan. Amazulu doing interplay, playing long balls, trying to find the spaces behind the defense. And then it's just that the final pass, when they were making about box entries, they couldn't realize that they should just switch the ball to the non-pressure era so that they can score. So that was it.
Sure. Well, we saw again some players that were new on the pitch, and we saw some players that, and I remember the last time we were speaking about some players that are going out, and Uzungu saying Uguti, he got it took something from the critique about the old players and trying to bring the squad down. So Amazulu are now showing that they are trying to do something as far as young players are concerned.
Yeah, you saw the new faces there. As we saw Abo Shlangabez, we saw Abo Mashiko. It's a new faces. Even STN, they are not that old, and then the old guys, especially they are at the back. At the back, usually the old guys. Okay, Kik and Alan is not that old, but to Abo Phillies, no, that.
Speaking of the new players, even Abu Moon from Golden Arrows, and he gets to start the game.
And then unfortunately it didn't have a supply, and then they ended up substituting him. But not that the problem was not playing. He was always isolated because the way they were playing Amazul, they were defending with the 5, so it was taking time. Even when the ball arrives there, the midfield, because the problem of Amazul, you will see this as the season goes by. In the midfield, Amazulu, they have slow midfielders, because there is Bongan Zungu there is a Penumtuari, or there is a Zikal there. Those players, they are slow. That's why XTN was working so hard. XTN should be the man of the match. If let's say if Amazulu won, he should have been the man of the match, because he was doing it. That's why the last part of the first half, Amazulu were no longer creating in the final third, because XTN was doing the dirty job. There was always defending. He was coming deep so that he can help them, because he's Stellenbosch, Abo, who is this guy? I think uZikhal nabo balunga or Palace. No Palace. They were just bossing. There. No De Jong. He was just bossing in the midfield there, especially there on the pockets. Yeah. So and then that's what happened, especially. In the second half, then the teams, Stellenbosch came back and then they scored. Then we thought, okay, now the game is over. And then luckily, because Mashek was nowhere to be seen, especially for me, especially in the first half, I didn't see him. Then the second half, he came there and then that deflection and then it was a goal and then we took them to extra time. And then after extra time, we could see, then they've changed. Amazulu went back to, if it was the Elo, Stellenbosch, they came with 4-3-3 because they wanted to kill the game. That's why you started to introduce the new players, and then they put Abo Putsaka in the midfield. Then they put Abo Piri and then Titus. They were so tired, and then Abo Kopito they were substituted, and then we saw Ole Sibanko. We saw Abo. It was Ole Sibanko, Nabo Lekolane, but they didn't affect the game positively, especially Ulo. No Malukwan, the guy that impacted the game, it was Upiri, that individual brilliance, and then taking the defenders and then trying to dead Kela, and then it ended up in the back of the net, and then it was just it. And then Amazulu, they tried to respond by playing just direct football, playing Urutwan, and then there was nothing because Utaret Phillies was just going there in the front to try and flick the balls. The other thing that I saw first half, of which the coaches they fixed the second half, the back three of Amazulu, ill-disciplined. When we are playing with the back three, you cannot go and jump the center and go over the D line of the center with the ball, because that's how he started Bosch.
Lose the ball there.
That's why there were always transition moments where you could see that it is scary. Then second half, okay, they were a little bit disciplined, but still there's a problem.
I saw that right 2 times side. From Allen. Where he would just go up front with the ball, but available touch again, and then now coming back.
Turn off, yes. Yeah. Because as I said, Stellenbosch was strong in the midfield because Amalokuzande was slow. It was better when Umutware was in because they started to have a little bit of and a control. But Uzungu played well. Uzungu plays more with an experience, but to cover Ama distance, you need the young blood there. To cover Ama distances. So if Amazon they can try and balance that, it can be better for them, because what I've seen maybe Uzekal will go to the midfield, and maybe they only leave Uzung, the fullbacks, both of them they've pushed up, and then they're trying to play maybe with the box midfield, Toto Allen, no Matthews, Aibo. No, Tarish Phillies, nice, ill-disciplined, is going with the ball till the final third. So we shouldn't be doing that. We should remain disciplined all the time. So the other teams will see the thing and then they will capitalize on that, because we've seen weaknesses of Amazulu. I've also noticed the weaknesses of Stellenbosch, because second half they just get tired. This front three, they always get tired. Kopido always get tired. When De Jong, after 70 minutes, you won't see De Jong on the pitch. Titus. And then Titus, yes, he made that assist, but I think the game, because from time to time they were doing a tactical switch, whereas Ubans was always lively. It's whether he was on the left or on the right, he was Lukozan. But other than that, it was a good game. We enjoyed the goals, but we could say it's still the early stages of the season. The mistakes
are going to be there.
Yeah, we've seen the mistakes, errors. You're trailing the ball, not opening the ball, you're facing this direction, you are the left footer, and then you don't scan, and then they take the ball, they go and score. So that's it.
Yeah, well, as Saipos always say, MTN 8 is more like a pre-season cup, because that way we get players to see them for the very first time before they play on the league. But congratulations to the Stellies. They are going to the semi-finals, and they have been thrown against Sekhukhune United. I don't know. Can we see Stellies being in the final on the MTN 8 iminyaka ilandelana? You remember last year they were in the final year in Durban against the Orlando Pirates. We don't know what is going to happen, but what we know is that
I know one thing.
Yeah.
If the referee this year don't rob them, they will be in the final because they are so unlucky.
They were robbed. When?
Hey, these previous years, man, they always get robbed. But continue. Let's continue.
I don't want to continue. I just want to close. This is my views, my expressions. Please do subscribe. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. And I'm out of here.